The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 2019, and we want to thank you for tuning in to Pro Wrestling Unscripted here on the Podzilla 1985 Network. What's up again, guys? My name is Shannon Young, Mr. 100, hosting tonight, along with me, the five-star man, Asa Gray.
Yes, hello.
On aboard the pro wrestling train!
And that's exactly what I wanted, was just to derail his energy.
Well, screw it. Allie Abear.
Hi.
I win.
And the Big D, Dalton Anthony.
Welcome to Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
No, don't steal my bit.
Nope.
You're already stealing my name? We'll kill y'all.
Well, all right.
I mean,
What
you can't use that on evidence.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like I'm staying alive.
It's a mystery.
You better hope I don't have an accident.
Like
God.
evolution.
That one of my favorite things. Do you remember when, was it Billy was on the show, and he admitted to running over Jason Vaughn?
Shit!
The smile on his face that formed when he realized you caught him. By the way,
Justin just read the old back in the back comments. So I'm about to get a really mean text.
if you enjoy Billy Hills, our good friend the farmer from CCW, go back and listen to last Thursday's show. He was a special guest. He was a surprise guest. Yeah, Billy was on the show
Oh,
Thursday.
shit, I haven't listened to it yet.
If you've ever want to hear Billy at Uncensored talking about things like Godzilla and stuff
I
like
do
that.
about every other weekend.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just talk to him. Like, speak words to him.
You could see Billy was super excited to be on Thursday because he didn't have to censor himself like we asked people to do here on this show. So
It's meme hour. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I started getting into recently these things called Vines.
Yeah, he's just now discovering that.
Have you guys seen these? They're like little.
Oh, no. Oh, honey, I got bad news.
They're like little short comedy clips. I really think they're the future.
Someone needs to get
This
him
is
on.
Logan Paul kid.
Oh my god.
Someone needs to get him on board TikTok now.
I've seen TikTok because those ads scare me.
In fairness, I'm too old for TikTok.
The best TikTok was one of a cat. It just kept getting closer to the camera. That's the only good TikTok.
I kept seeing the one of the it's like the anime girls singing back and forth. It's weird. That's not what we're here to talk about tonight. We're here to talk about
we can change it really quick.
professional wrestling. If you'd like to hear the randomness, you have to go back to the pre-show where we had a great conversation about our stalkers, which was a lot of fun. There's some comedy gold in there. $1 for the pre-show, patreon.com/Podzilla1985. And you support us. I don't know if we ever told you guys this, but we basically live in rags. We record this show on a potato.
If you want to hear more information about just how broke we are, listen to the pre-show from last night's Hype Train. Because we talk about, I don't remember what it was, but it was like if someone had a sudden $1,300 expense and be like, yeah, no, that would bankrupt me. I would be very much in the negatives.
Yeah.
Just we talked.
I mean,
about
I'm
that.
already in the negatives technically. That's not a good thing.
I'm starting up a new job so I can get out of the negatives.
I'm gonna pick up a meth habit and then I'm gonna drop it. Save money.
No, that's not.
That's not how that works.
No.
What?
Because you.
No, it requires. It's like a pyramid scheme because it requires an initial investment.
Yeah, you got to spend a lot for the meth.
But you get skinny if you do meth, right?
In theory.
Well, let me call Chaffee real quick. Let's see what they think.
Oh, you got the rotary phone?
I do. Let's talk about wrestling tonight. Let's start off.
Great.
Let's start off at the top of the list. Let's talk about Sami Zayn real quick because this is a good story, Asa.
Yes. I'm helpful.
What?
Allie hasn't read the show notes yet, so she doesn't.
I have.
But she
I've
forgot
read
the
part
first
of
story.
them. No, I know the first story.
No, right now I'm trying to pull up more details on it because
So Sami Zayn
Yes.
has begun a new Syrian medical relief fundraiser, which is
Which
very, very cool.
he's done one. He's done one already, where they were built. All of that money went to mobile hospitals and mobile clinics, which was really, really cool. And dear Lord, I hate 411. I hate mobile websites that take forever to load, and then it's like, hey, do you want? We're going to use cookies. Like, stop it.
And then right when you're scrolling, an ad pops up, and you accidentally hit it, and then it takes you to the ad. Then you got to back out, but it won't back out of the ad because it reloads the ad automatically. So you have to hit back twice. Then it backs you back before the screen you wanted to go to originally. Now you got to go to it again and find it again. Oh yeah,
But
I hate the internet.
So here's the
problem.
Here's the thing that I think is most noteworthy about Sami Zayn, and I'll just read his full tweet. Intensified attacks in northwestern Syria are targeting civilians in medical facilities. I will once again be partnering with @Sams_USA to launch a mobile clinic in Syria to bring medical aid to those in desperate need. Our fundraiser will be launched Friday, June 7th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's
Is that the same as the Super Showdown?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's during the Saudi Arabia show. Or not during the Saudi Arabia show, but
it's like when they start together, isn't it?
It's at the same time.
Yeah.
As the Saudi Arabia.
Which, by the way,
Showdown.
if you want to watch the Saudi Arabia show, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about it. Like we won't be previewing it.
No.
So
what is there to preview? Like,
I mean, there's matches,
and there's some big matches,
and we'll talk about like Raw and Smack, like what was on Raw and SmackDown. But we're not going to do. But we're not doing a card by card. We're not doing a match by match.
There was only one thing from Raw that
rundown.
I truly loved.
Yeah, Raw wasn't good this week.
But yeah, so that's go to his Twitter is @Sami Zayn, and you'll be able to for more information on that. The last one that he did was very, very successful. So, and this is just a great thing because there's a lot of people, and we joke about like how poor we are, but we at least aren't constantly worried about our homes exploding and having no access to water or healthcare or anything like that.
Right. It's easy for us to complain about small things, but there are people out there. It's that old saying of like there are always people with bigger problems than you is true. It doesn't, and don't get me wrong, it does not diminish your problems. It really doesn't. But there are people out there who are suffering. This is a great thing that he's doing. So that's the kind of thing that really makes you proud to be alive, you know?
And a wrestling fan. Like that's one of those that's just like, hey, he's doing it right.
Sami Zayn fan.
That's fair.
Well, to be fair, again,
because wrestling is going to Saudi Arabia and running a show.
That's true.
Sami Zayn.
One company.
Yeah.
And it's so baffling, isn't it, that WWE would both choose to go to Saudi Arabia, to a country that is so controversial, that is so oppressive, that is responsible for one of the worst killings in the past, the most, I say worst killing, all killing's bad, but this one was like insultingly lying, deceitful bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they do so much for charity. They do so much for Make-A-Wish. Like, it's hard to talk about WWE and not feel conflicted about, are they the biggest pieces of shit? Like, what?
Well, it was a shitty contract.
Which, to be fair, did come out before the Khashoggi murder.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, it was a shitty contract regardless, because like then you still do have like their whole human rights issues that they have,
right?
There, which like is their human rights issues, and it's just like, why would WWE do that? And if you ask Billy Hills, it's because WWE is at the forefront of change in Saudi Arabia. But then like that happens like 2 weeks before Crown Jewel.
Oh, I thought what he meant by that was that they were at the forefront of the change that the Saudi king was dumping on their.
No, they were change. That was gold doblooms, if anything.
For the king, it is change.
But it was a bad contract to begin with, and then that happened, and then it just became a bigger PR nightmare. Because it's one of those like, yes, WWE probably shouldn't have, but the money was too good, and then it's one of those they just can't back out of it now.
I mean, in fairness, we only got like 9 more years of it, so it's fine.
Yeah,
but this is already more exposure than it deserves. So,
well, I was gonna ask you one thing. Did you hear that apparently Natalya, Renee Young, and I think Alexa Bliss are flying to Saudi Arabia, that there is rumor that they are going to put on a women's match, which...
Yikes.
Yeah, it's just rumor right now. Alexa Bliss was in the first women's match with Sasha Banks. I forget where that was.
Is that Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
I think you were right.
Yeah, because they're doing a battle pack based on that, which is pretty cool.
So the big rumor is that Natalya is going to fight Alexa Bliss down there, and that Renee Young is going to be a part of the show. She'll probably do commentary again, which...
We'll see.
It's the guy with the butterfly. Is this change? The little butterfly?
We'll see.
Okay. Apparently, I'm off on my memes. It was a meme. It was a butterfly.
Right.
Tell me about Kyle. What's Kyle?
He really loves Monster, and as much as he loves Monster, he hates drywall.
Yes.
I did see one thing. Now that you mention it, and this is offensive. It's not offensive. It's just a bad word. But
I don't like that.
No, it was a picture of a monster. It was like a sports car, and it was like monster themed. And the caption said, "Damn, Kyle, save some pussy for the rest of us." That made me laugh.
I was afraid of what that was going to end up as.
Oh, I don't want to go to the next story.
But
I'm skipping it. Thank you.
Sami Zayn, go to his Twitter on Friday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern. and for more details on that fundraiser. They did a lot of really good work before, and this is the same kind of thing. So it's a great cause, and this is the best way to kind of like this is the best middle finger that you can give is by like you could just like sulk and get angry about it and attack others, or you could just be like, hey, so this group of actively oppressed people, the reason that the call wasn't made by WWE to keep him home.
Yeah.
They were told he can't come.
Right.
The best is to like, oh, so these people you're oppressing? Well, I'm going to help them out.
God, it's so hard not to go off on a huge tangent when it comes. Like, I don't want to go full Cornette where I just start cussing and being a dick. But like, when I think about the Saudi Arabia thing specifically, because there's all kinds of things in wrestling I don't like. I don't like. I'm a Jim Cornette fan, but I don't like some of the things he said, obviously, about Double or Nothing. I think some of it was very insulting.
I really hope your Twitter doesn't blow up for that one.
Oh, I stand by most of the things I say. I'm not a fan of some of the ways wrestling is going, but those are all apples and oranges. Like, that's stuff that I'm just not a fan of. But when it comes to like an entity going over to this horrible place for money and not backing down in the face of this horrible, senseless murder, like that makes it so hard to not just turn this into a giant rant. I'm not going to, but I cannot express my disappointment and anger enough. And the fact that I don't want to watch wrestling because it almost ruins the whole thing for me.
Oh, you should watch Best of the Super Juniors then.
It's hard to detach myself from WWE because I've been a WWF kid for so long. That's wrestling for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you guys grew up in, oh God, it sounds generational. You guys grew up with a little bit more options, where with me it was just, all I had access to was WWF and then WCW. But by then I was already a wrestling fan attached to that. Whereas you guys, you become fans of indie wrestling. I didn't know anything about indie wrestling. I'm just learning. So I feel like my scope is so limited. So when something like this happens, I get so angry and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with any of it. So that's my rant. I'm sorry. What's that?
You should watch Ring of Honor.
Isn't it on? It's on TV, right?
Yeah, Channel
on the
11.
weekends, I think.
Whatever Channel 11 is on your satellite provider, but
YouTube. No, Hulu now. It's unimportant.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is important. CNN ran a story on Ashley Massaro and brain injuries in wrestling. I did not watch this, which is surprising because I usually stay glued to CNN and MSNBC.
This was it was an online article. It was CNN Health ran the article. This wasn't on like CNN's show.
yeah.
Gotcha. Can you fill me in on it?
I didn't see this either.
I read it at the beginning because this was like one of the first things that came out. I'm gonna see if I had the link ready, but I think the bigger takeaway was that Ashley Massaro was already like planning on donating her brain to the CTE research.
Okay, good.
Like her name was just one of the
like floating. It wasn't concrete.
yeah,
yet.
like I think it was just one of those because like we see more and more of, and of course everything.
You're getting all those ads again?
No, it's all about the lawsuit that.
She was a part of.
Yeah, not Ashley Madison. God,
Definitely not Ashley Madison.
Wrong one.
So when that
but
Ashley,
you
thank
can go.
God.
It's CNN Health. The title is Amanda Jackson wrote it. Ashley Massaro wanted to donate her brain to CTE research. Here's what we know about head trauma in pro wrestling, and it's just kind of a.
Is it a legit piece or is it a shot? Like an execution piece.
I was so sick when I read it because I did not. This was like I think I saw it like before I sent the notes for like last.
And the reason I mentioned that is because I think we've come a long way since. I think the most I ever heard big companies like CNN, MSNBC, Fox, places like that talk about professional wrestling
was the negative sides.
Well, it was the Chris Benoit murder, right? And the misinformation and the insulting roid rage stuff at the time. It wasn't very intelligent conversation, and it was very unfair. So I'm hoping that this is more of a fair piece because wrestling, for all the bad stuff, has gotten a better reputation when it comes to taking care of people with concussions and stuff like that.
And she mentions like, she spoke with, or I don't know if she spoke with him or if she's just taking quotes that he said, but like she attributes quotes to Dave Meltzer about how like has covered the industry for over 30 years. He says that over the past 12, awareness of the risk of concussions has grown tremendously.
Right.
And like steps, they've taken to kind of prevent them. So glancing back over it, it seems like it's relatively
just factual.
Yeah, it's just kind of but she also mentioned, CTE isn't the only, it's not about concussions. It is a longer, like it's a pretty in-depth read.
I'm going to go read that. I'll check it out later.
I'll send you the link.
Yes, please do.
Sending that now. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like it's hopefully some level of good can come out of what is a
Tragedy.
awful tragedy.
And Dalton, you wanted to mention something with Mick Foley.
Yeah, so, and I think the promotion ended on the T-shirt ones, but he was doing a thing where you could get a Cactus Jack T-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees that has had AM on the back of it, and all of the proceeds went to Ashley Mazzaro's, like, I think it was her daughter's GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And which was awesome. It was $25, which that's what a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees costs about. And then if you paid $40, he would sign it, because apparently they were really good friends. And then it came out after the end of that promotion. He's doing one now that you can, like, if you donate so much money, he will come and watch wrestling with you.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't
wild.
know. Right, because there has to be a big number for him to actually come out and watch wrestling with you.
But I mean, that's cool regardless. Like,
It is. It is. No, wrestling is, if nothing else, really is a brotherhood. And when one of them passes away, and there's a huge outreach by other wrestlers, and I'm always happy to see that. And Ashley Massaro, from everything I read, was incredibly liked.
If they donate $5,000,
I figured, and it has to be a big number. Because
which I mean, but it's
it's an appearance fee basically, and it's all going to Ashley Massaro, so it's worth it.
Yeah.
If I had $5,000, I would probably like pay off my car, but if I had $5,000 extra, I would do that. I would invite him here to watch like CCW.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'd be like, so this
don't
is
want
Dalton's
no,
hardcore.
we're using it like this.
This is Dalton's hardcore match against Justin Smart.
No.
Give him your thoughts.
No.
You've been in one or two, right?
Never. I've never done a hardcore match, finish any kind.
Oh, they're up to, as of, what was the date of
give us
this?
the number.
As of June 4th, they are up to $45,000 for her.
Wow.
Nice.
I just put it out there that for a $5,000 donation, I would travel anywhere in the United States or Canada and watch Raw or SmackDown or any show. I guess you get 3 hours of my time. We can do whatever you want. I can do your yard work if you like. I will.
There it is. That's what I want.
I will. And somebody said, "What about the UK?" I said, 10,000. I'll go anywhere in the world. So I hope somebody takes me up on it. I've got a lot of frequent flyer miles. A young man out of Detroit named David already made the $5,000 donation. We got a couple other people who are really interested. But really, the $5 and $10 donations add up in a hurry, and every little bit counts. So even that right there is what he still ties it into almost kind of like a jokey thing, but he still points out that every little bit is still very, very
He's honestly
impactful.
one of the, he's one of those people that, like, that's a shining beacon of wrestling for the most part. Like, he's, like, just one of the really, really good people.
Look at any of the negative things people have said about him, and how they are usually shots at his ability to wrestle.
Yeah.
Never the
or they're
person.
just super petty.
Yeah.
Like, it's never, like, there are no true gripes against the man Mick Foley.
Right. And if I had the $5,000, I would pay him to work here for 3 hours.
Hey, can
Just
you
take
watch the
it-
store?
Hey,
Yeah,
I need you to cover the store.
I'm gonna go over DG. You want anything? Can you imagine a kid walking into the store and Mick Foley's on the counter?
And he wouldn't know who they are.
Oh, it'd be great if they did, though, because that'd be sad if they didn't. If he worked the whole day and no one knew it was Mick Foley.
I've told you the Tommy Dreamer story before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, where the IHOP waitress, like, didn't know who it was, and he just started messing with her.
He's not going to come back. Was he care?
Yeah.
Or what is it, Allie? It's the picture of the kid from The Sandlot.
Yeah, it was Ham from The Sandlot with a kid that had a picture of "You're Killing Me"
Oh,
Small
God.
on his shirt, and he had no idea. And actually, no, it was
'Cause he's the one that
two people from The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was him and someone else, but he had the, it was
He
your
actually
chemicals.
had
So he
Hale
saw him.
on
He's
his
like,
shirt.
"Hey, can I get a picture of your shirt?" Like, and the guy was
Really
like,
nice shirt.
and the guy was like super weirded out. He didn't get it.
That's amazing.
That's a fly in the ointment. More sad news. This is incredibly sad. Actually, I saw this either this morning or yesterday. And
I say it was floating yesterday.
I saw it from Chris Jones, Mega Chris Jones.
Which, by the way, get well soon.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's
Surprising. Was it from a match?
No, he
he
said
was
it was
at
at work.
That sucks. I don't know if Chris listens to the show because he's a friend of CCW, therefore he's a friend of ours, and he and I have talked quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a super sweet dude.
He's
like,
a great wrestler, credible guy. I hope he gets better. But I saw this from his post. He was all torn up about it. Atsushi Aoki passed away in a motorcycle accident.
Yep.
I'm not super familiar with the man.
He
I heard he's an incredible wrestler, but I've never got to really see his work.
competed in Noah, and then most recently he's been in All Japan, and he's actually the junior world heavyweight champion. So like he was a title holder for for All Japan when this happened, because it was it was a motorcycle accident. So it of course it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do we know how old he was?
Like 41.
Oh, so still young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
young dude.
Ah,
Like
that
it's
sucks.
just tragic. There's no other way about it.
So if you're a fan, or if you're not a fan, just someone passed away, and we are in mourning. So our thoughts, prayers with family and fans, obviously. Double or Nothing. Talk about it for a second. Did roughly 98,000 buys,
which is huge.
Plus 120,000 illegal streams.
Son of a.
Don's about to put his cap and shield on. He's about to start.
But like that number is pretty important because the highest number of buys ECW ever did was 99,000 on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
TNA, the highest number they hit was 60,000. So they've already beaten TNA. People were pointing out really random statistics like, well, WCW in the year 2000 only hit 100,000.
Ooh, that was WCW in the year 2000.
Yeah, so
AEW's gonna fail.
It was that weird thing. People were talking about like WWE before the network, like they were only hitting like 260. So like this is a really, really impressive number for.
It's extremely impressive. I have to ask.
Also, All In only I think All In did like 50,000 buys, which granted I think it was a little bit more difficult to be able to. It was easier to get Double or Nothing than it was All In.
Can I?
Was it not?
No. All In was on Fight.
Oh, was
and on Honor Club.
Oh, I'm thinking of the pre-show. That's
okay,
why.
I was about to say, All In was easy as dirt to get.
Okay.
So can I don't think this is controversial. Can I be the devil's advocate for just a second? Or let me ask a question. So 98,000 buys. You said ECW's top was like 99,000, and Impact did 60,000 as its top. Do you think that is an impressive number? But do you feel like it should be more considering the hype that was behind it and the fact that? Do you think the ECW fans? I can't feel there were more ECW fans than there were AEW fans. And do you think that illegal streaming plays a part in that?
I mean, it could, but also you have to consider the fact that like they don't have a show.
Yeah.
This is their first ever show as a pay-per-view. And yeah, there was hype behind it, but they didn't have a concrete product. This was strictly on names of competitors alone.
And YouTube clips.
Yeah, and that's
how they sold the show.
Yeah,
and
they have like their YouTube streaming thing, and like even All In, you could make an argument that it really didn't because All In had a lot of guys that they could not use. You know, there is no Okada, there is no Skrull. Like they didn't have. Apparently, Brian Cage was backstage and like ready to go, but Impact was like, though. You work for us. You're our champion.
But Orange Cassidy was there.
Damn
he
straight.
He made his way to the ring. But
chopped the hell out of Dreamer.
But I mean, there is no there's absolutely no taking away that this is an incredible number for AEW. Like even like the most staunch people who are like, oh, this is a bullshit T-shirt company, whatever. They almost hit 100,000 buys on their first ever show. Is that number sustainable? What will? Well, that's because I'm willing.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Like, because Fyter Fest probably won't do these numbers.
No, but it's also not going to be that price either. So it might actually do really well. Like, because that's I mentioned it last week whenever you weren't here. Tony Khan said that was not going to be a normal price for their pay-per-view.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said like there's going to be like maybe 3 or 4 shows a year where that is going like that.
Mania is always more expensive.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, somebody did pull out a Fyter Fest today.
Was it Pac?
No, it's a female wrestler. She's Japanese. I forget her name. I'm looking it up right now.
They had a bunch in Double or Nothing, so for me just to be able to pull that name out, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So this is a great thing, but it does lead to the question of, okay, like, will this number grow? Is it sustainable? But I honestly think that the true test isn't going to come until after they get a TV show.
Yeah.
Because then they can really start, to build things in a more traditional sense as opposed to having to do road to or being the elite.
Yeah.
But so I thought that was super. And just like I said, the fact that they almost beat ECW, did beat Impact,
And those were companies that were quote unquote competition at the time.
Yeah.
I feel like they have so much better. They have such a more loyal fan base because they're doing something different than.
Because even at
Impact, especially.
even at TNA's peak.
Also, Hikaru Shida.
Okay.
Even at TNA's peak, like I don't think there's been the level of frustration with the WWE product than there is right now.
No, because I'd been like 06, 07, and it was still fairly good. Like WWE still had a good product,
but it was still just like, there's an alternative that's neat, but we still like this. Whereas now it is like you see the reaction that at least the internet is portraying and the ratings are showing.
I mean, if you watch the show.
Yeah.
I want to mention the reason Hikaru Shida won't be there is because of the scheduling commitment that she's going to be at Mayumi Ozaki's Oz Academy. She's finishing up her last match in Hokkaido that weekend, and then she'll be free for AEW after that. So it's not like an injury thing or anything like that.
Yeah.
She just had previous commitment.
She had scheduling conflict, which happens, especially if you're signing people to a company, but you're allowing them to honor the dates that they've already worked. Which good on AEW for that.
That's the
because they could have just been like, nope, you're ours. You signed this contract.
You signed, yeah.
So.
I don't get this one. You're gonna have to explain this one to me. Ring of Honor fan allegedly taken backstage for heckling heels.
So there was a guy on Twitter who claims that he was at a Ring of Honor show, and Allure, I think, is the name of the stable.
Mandy Leon, Velvet Sky, and I think Angelina Love.
Yeah. So it's 3 women heels, and so he said he was playing the part of cheering the good guys, booing the bad guys. So he was booing Allure. And was exchanging words with them. One of them even spit on him at some point.
Allegedly, because that's how we have to say everything.
Yeah, everything is allegedly. But so at a certain point, after the second time they'd come out, and Velvet apparently lost her shit on him again allegedly, and really ripped into the dude. They left, and then someone from security came and said, "Hey, you need to come with us." Wouldn't tell him what was going on, wouldn't tell him where they were taking him. They ended up taking him backstage, and Bully Ray then came into the room and was like, hey, you have to stop. You are being disrespectful. You are saying stuff you should not be saying, but you're done. Not going to kick you out, but you're done.
The exact quote.
Now go be a fan.
Yeah, go be a fan. Or was it go be a good fan? Or
no, now go be a fan.
Okay.
Is this confirmed that this actually happened?
No, not at all. So there are a bunch of people who are, because Bully Ray put out a statement saying that the dude was saying really vile stuff.
And that's the only thing I could figure.
The only thing that's been confirmed is that the interaction between Bully Ray and this dude had.
Yeah.
Up to who took him, because and that was the thing. I had a complete that's probably this fan's probably legit until Bully Ray made his comment, and then the dude doubled down on it. Because then he said that, because Velvet Sky and Bully Ray, they're still together, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right. Then he said that he just called him Hunter, which is the booker at Ring of Honor, who is Delirious.
Yeah.
Was the one that came and got him. And he said, well, I didn't know it was Delirious. He didn't have his mask on, which I can confirm. You can't tell.
Nope. He talks.
But then, Mandy Leon, texted him, or tweeted at him. It's a shit show. Tweeted at him saying that's a lie and this, that, and another. So all that we know is that words were had, if you believe his statement or if you believe Velvet Sky, because he said that she called him a virgin, so then he clapped back with, well, you sleep with Bully Ray, so who are you to talk? And then that was what the fan said happened. And then the Velvet Sky said that it was no, he was making masturbation gestures toward me and saying really vile shit. It was. Again, I go back to the epitome of a shit show, and we really don't know what really happened except for Bully Ray then had the exchange with them.
Yeah, he and Bully, that we know for sure. But then you also have, there are other people who were there at the event who were seemingly not they're not friends. It's not if I stuck and be no, Dalton's cool. People are actually he wasn't being out of line, because Matt Fowler, who he used to do the wrestling wrap up for IGN, he has a podcast. I love his wrestling stuff.
Yeah, his
I've been following him for a while, because he even was man, as soon as he even admitted to one of the things that he said, it's I don't know if I can truly believe that you weren't being this guy wasn't just being the absolute worst.
Yeah.
But then someone was no, I know this dude. I've gone to shows with him. He's not like that, and he would not have said stuff like that.
Yeah, but I've seen it also the other way on people tweeting. But it depends on whose Twitter you're on.
Right. This is the definition of he said she said insanity.
Yeah, because then you have people saying no, I'm at shows with this guy all the time, and he's the worst.
Yeah.
I've seen it both ways.
Was this not taped?
No, I think
not
this
every
was,
Ring of Honor is.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
this was one of the TV tapings.
Shit, it might be.
Well, 'cause I'm just getting curious. It's really hard in this day and age to get away with saying something without it being caught.
I have no idea what
You know what I mean?
Right.
He said, she said in a public forum is really hard to do nowadays. So I'm kind of curious. What are your thoughts on, and I'm going to address this to Allie because I don't interact with her enough. Allie, what are your thoughts on when is a fan too much? If you pay your money to go to a show and you're not being outright offensive, saying expletives on a family show, stuff like that, if you were just being an antagonistic fan, when is too much, or is there such a thing?
This is a very
Dalton, you're next. Don't worry.
This is a very open-ended question.
That's why I asked it. Good luck. You will be tested later.
I feel like it becomes too much when you cross a line. Whenever you are.
But what is the line, I guess is what I'm asking.
It moves.
Honestly, yeah, it moves. It depends on where you are.
Because, like, you could say stuff at a GCW show that you could not say at a Stride show or a CCW show.
Yeah, because, like, we were at
or Chikara.
Yeah, we were at Pancakes and Pile Drivers, and we were openly chanting "Fuck Ohio" because it was OVE versus like a 3-man tag.
Right.
And it is a moving line. It depends on where you're at. It's Ring of Honor, so that's a big company. You're already assuming it's going to be
It's PG-13.
PG-13. So like you can't get away with certain things. So like, let's go back to early CCW where I called the fan a racist because he made a comment about Hollis. All right, that's when a fan was being too far.
Don't look at me. I said it on a mic.
I know.
Jesus.
That somebody was racist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remember, yeah.
Oh God, I forgot about.
Yeah, I should point that out.
I browned out during that. You had that. So I've been at a show where somebody got kicked out for language. It was a Raw from like 2012, and we had a group of people. There was the rednecks behind us, which they were cool. They were just like chanting stupid stuff. But then there were some college bros a row behind us, and they were chanting AJ Lisa Crack Whore, and we were like, really? They're getting away with that one. And then we heard a Chris Benoit chant, and then we saw some really big dudes in black shirts walk by, and
The
then
little WWE logo on their chest.
and then we didn't see them for the rest of the night.
And that's the big thing coming out of this is if this dude was being as vile and offensive as he was,
They would have kicked him out.
Why did they feel the need to like have Bully Ray come in? And this guy's claiming Bully Ray was intimidating him and like was trying to like
bully him,
scare him and bully him. Yeah, but it's like
Boy.
man, because that's such a weird thing that it's pretty unprecedented to have someone be brought backstage
to give him a talking to
by one of the bookers / competitors.
It's really unfortunate when your name is Bully Ray and you're accused of bullying.
Right.
It's like when the rapper when C Murder was arrested for murder and he tried to say I'm not like that.
Yeah, it's one of those like the dude should have just been kicked out, in my personal opinion.
If he was being that vile, yeah.
Here's the thing. People have gotten kicked out of CCW for less or more, and it's just one of those things where you don't need to have fans like that that are like, even if it is, there is a line between, all right, you're booing somebody, and it's the same thing. Somebody put their hand on you one time.
They did.
And you shut it down. Somebody put their hand on me in Indiana one time, and I shut it down.
Well, and the fans are so weird now because so many fans are quote unquote in the know and want to be a part of the show and more of a fan than a fan capacity.
Yeah.
So they want to interact more. They get really inside with you when they're insulting you. You're a heel in Illinois. I'm a heel in Missouri. You know what it's like when fans like get on you and try to like attack you.
No, I love Stride for that reason. Because whenever somebody boos you in Stride, if it's the one lady that Asa knows I'm talking about, she'll just yell, "You suck ass," and you just turn and you're like, "This is a family show. Why are you swearing?" Like I've turned around and said that before.
Yes, she never learns.
I'm more insulted by the fact that the fans never learn anything more than just like
basic insults.
He's dumb. He's fat. Stuff like that. It's like Jesus Christ. Put some thought into it. You spend so much time being smart marks. Like put some thought into your insults.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You can't even spell scum. DELL.
That's a good burn.
But it's one of those even the super basic. You're dumb. You're stupid. Your shoes are weird.
Suck.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't there's no reason to make it overly personal. If a heel says something to you that's overly personal, you don't have to that person's being paid to act. Yeah. And if it makes you uncomfortable, you can go to the company and say something.
I think there is a level of it kind of has to be both ways. Like if you're a fan and the bad guy comes out and you're just like, "Boo, you suck," and they respond with a personal insult. Okay. Like I don't remember what it was, so I don't want to mention it, but like when Punk made the homosexual reference to the one fan.
You have a vagina.
Yeah.
Or also, if you want to kind of keep it on story, who is complaining to a fan about being vile?
Bully Ray. the man where you can go back and watch.
that was all over Twitter.
The heat wave incident.
Look at this in the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Here's the mother with her daughter teaching how to.
And that's what I mean.
Can't
Like
finish that one.
If you as a fan are expected to like not cross the line with a wrestler, I think wrestlers should not cross the line with fans.
Right.
You know, I think it has to be give and take. It is a shit show situation. I want to know how it ends up. Keep me updated.
I mean, I'm willing to say we saw the end of it,
Yeah, I don't think there's really nothing else that can come from it
unless
other
we get
than-
and if we get footage.
Yeah, that's the only thing is if there is concrete footage of exactly what happened. But I feel
So
like
do you think I mean, worst case scenario, it's a case of Bully Ray being upset,
strong arming somebody.
Yeah, because he was upset that someone was insulting the woman he's with.
I mean, if that's the case, it's petty, but like,
But
that's
it's Bully
whatever.
Ray. You would expect him and her because they're both professionals. Like most professionals, let that stuff roll off them. I was personally insulted when I first started doing the heel thing, and people would like make fun of my looks or something like that. I would at first got offended, even though some of the stuff was just like nonsensical, made up. I would still take offense to it. But now it's got to a point like there's not much people can say to offend me. And I've only been in this business for a year as a bad guy. Bully Ray and they've been in this business for so long. I feel like something that petty wouldn't affect them. You know what I mean? Like, this whole story is weird.
There's a lot of theories on it, and like a lot of them that I don't want to say because they're literally just theories, and it's just people speculating on why he did it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give any like validity to him because honestly, it's just one of those.
It's a rumor mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if said, they make sense. But at the same time, it is the living embodiment of a shit show.
Right. So we'll move on from it. If anything else happens, we will let you know. Boom Comics ending their WWE run with issue 25.
Yep.
yes,
That was a hiccup.
Oh.
My pool box just got smaller.
because
That is
there's
also
been
sexual.
there's been some like really cool stuff.
Yeah, they do some neat things from time to
like
time.
they fill in some gaps that like
storyline.
like AJ Styles signed his contract on international waters. The reason that he wanted to go after like the whole beat up John Cena thing happened is because Cena disrespected him backstage, treated him like a rookie type thing. The newest one was like Paige insulted Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan. Just because like they offered to like team up with her, but she rejected them to form Absolution, so that's why they formed the Riot Squad.
Now that's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, this is the backstage storyline reasons, but like it's all, of course,
My
like,
favorite,
kayfabe.
my favorite one is Mick Foley was going to draft Samoa Joe during the draft, but he did not want to go to the main roster because he wanted the NXT championship from Finn Balor because that was when they were feuding. So he went to Triple H, and Triple H said, like, Triple H prevented him from being drafted, but told Joe he owed him a favor. And that's what led to him attacking Seth Rollins.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
For his debut, yeah.
Pooper
like
scooper.
it's stuff like that that's like,
So this is a stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me. Is this canon?
no.
Okay.
No, it's just it's fun reads for somebody that like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
And
I
they've
actively
done-
collect it.
They've done stuff with like Bayley and Sasha and Bray Wyatt and like
They do like WrestleMania SummerSlam special issues all the time. They did an NXT Takeover edition.
You know what would not work well in a comic?
What?
The Muscle Man dance.
You
You need motion.
no, it would be a flip book.
WWE. Nope. Just said
Eli
it.
Drake.
Eli Drake. Shut up. Announces he is a free agent.
Yes.
All right.
Which he was already let go from Impact.
He was fired from Impact, but still like was I guess like had to honor the no compete clause. But the reports are that he and Impact came to an agreement to get him out of that early.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's now a free agent.
it's always good whenever a company will do that.
Quick question, Allie. Where would you see Eli Drake next? AEW or WWE or Indies?
Wherever his heart takes him.
Jesus Christ. Dalton.
I mean,
All right, Asa.
I think Indies. Like there's been rumors that there's some interest by WWE, but
You think he would fit in AEW or WWE even better? Because he looks like a WWE guy, but I don't mean that as an insult. I just get that vibe from him.
I mean he would fit in WWE in the sense that he would be a member of their roster.
Yes.
Because I can't imagine WWE treating him better than like
EC3.
EC3 or someone like, or Buddy Murphy or like he would have some great segments with R-Truth for the 24/7 championship.
He would be fantastic on NXT.
and he would be
And
fun.
then the moment he got called up.
Yeah, and he would, but I could also see him having a lot of fun on like Road to Fighter Fest or something, whatever.
Yeah.
all out.
You think he would do well on the Indies?
I mean, he's a name that's got pretty big TV exposure, who's a solid wrestler and like really good promo.
Sounds like me.
I think it kind of depends on like what he's going to like, what he values himself at versus what some companies would be willing to pay to bring him in.
Did we mention that Joey Ryan's big announcement was that he wasn't signing with WWE or AEW, that he was staying on the Indies?
He's staying in the independent.
Yeah, it was the longer he was looking for.
I want to mention that.
I couldn't remember. That was the thing of like I couldn't remember if that was on last week's.
I don't think
or
it was.
if
I
I
think it
put
was.
it on last week's because as soon as I sent it to you, I like just started the template again.
Did we do PW last week?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did it without Asa.
Yeah,
you were
'cause I was sick.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, no, that's the one that we left, and I got in the car with Allie, and I was like, let's never do that again.
Oh, thanks. I'm happy I found out this way.
So,
Middle
I said it
fingers.
on Thursday's show.
Oh,
You
shit,
should
I haven't
listen. No, I'm
listened to
kidding. I'm kidding. Allie, you're going to be excited by this. Allie. Allie.
Is it the
Just say it.
Just
Raw?
say it. Say
Monday
it.
Night Raw?
is it Glow getting season 3
Yes.
in August? Yeah, I'm excited.
Is Joey Ryan still on the show?
August 9th.
August
I
9th.
think Joey Ryan's probably going to still be on the show.
I mean, he made like one appearance.
Yeah, but you also said that the dude from Swamp Thing was in 3 episodes. But he
That's
wait, no, I can't
what
say it because it's a
IMDb
spoiler.
said.
I can't spoil it. No, I can't say it. He died in the first episode. I didn't say who it was.
You also haven't seen any other episodes, so maybe
Because apparently
we
they're not
see,
making anymore.
Maybe we see his dead body 2 more times.
Apparently the
Do we?
show's dead.
I don't know.
No,
The show is the Swamp Thing.
they made more episodes, just not as many as they wanted to.
So good for Glow. I'm
Is
sure
the
it'll
thing.
be good. It's been very successful for Netflix.
Yes.
It created a lot of interest in the old Glow show, which was very, very cool.
Yeah, Disney won't pull this one.
Hopefully. So congratulations to them. I've still not watched it, but
Shame.
it's not because man, there are so many things that I need to go back and watch at this point. I've given up.
And we said last night, or I think I just was talking to Trevor about like most of my time now is spent on games. Like I'm playing a lot more game. Like I'm going through my backlog of stuff.
Which, by the way, I'm going to drop the announcement now. Next Tuesday, we're having a big E3 special. Mr. 5-Star Man in the 100. No, Mr. 100 the 5-Star Man. I've already been talking to Jesse. I know you guys did Hype Train last night for it.
Yeah, Jesse talked about it.
Did he?
Yeah.
On the show.
Did he mention he was going to be on?
No, because I also
Son
had
of
no
a
idea
bitch.
because he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this big. Shayna was talking about doing this big E3 special, and I was like, did he? Like, okay.
And I found out because I listened to that show.
Oh, you're an asshole.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
So we're gonna do a big E3 show next week because it's right during E3, and it's gonna be myself, Asa Gray, Ali A. Bear,
Hello.
probably, Jesse Kimball, and Hunter Hendricks.
Oh, neat.
Double H is coming back
Oh,
to the
cool.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured you were training legitimately. I didn't know that you didn't train every week anymore.
No, that's fine.
What? So you could be on Tuesdays again then?
No, we've established a schedule.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you missed the schedule.
No, that's fine.
So
No, it's a special, but it's fine. We can bring Hunter.
I'll do 6 mics, or we just boot her off. Look her in the eyes and say you're not allowed on the show.
No, I'm not gonna do
Literally
it.
the only thing
Hey, so
I
this
would
is pro.
talk about.
Anyway, we'll be talking about that on Tuesday.
Oh God, no!
I
want
wanna go to Taco
the
Bell.
first 10 minutes of this show.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
that's
I wanna
fair.
go to
That's
Taco
fair.
Bell.
Okay, that's fair. Raw and SmackDown. Dalton, you'll be on. We'll make room for you.
No, it's fine.
No, I want you on. All right, so Raw. I literally
split the
know
shows.
nothing that happened on Raw other than that Brock Lesnar laid out Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the funny part because he laid out Seth Rollins, and thank God they actually addressed it on the show. It wasn't one of those things.
No, they didn't. They
Yeah.
said he was going to cash in on Monday, and then he killed Seth Rollins. And then, Heyman was like, do it. And he's like, Friday. So for the second week in a row,
No, that's what I
they
mean,
have
though.
insulted my intelligence.
No, what I
No,
mean.
no, okay, hang on, real quick. Because no, they never said he was cashing in last week. They said he was going to announce who he was cashing in on.
And he never announced.
Right, he didn't because
Okay,
they did
so
the thing.
so they questioned my intelligence that
you made
day.
you made it sound like it was because I'm seeing a lot of people pissed off because they're saying that he said he
gonna
was going to
cash in
cash in.
twice.
No, but he said he was going to cash in against, and I know that. I know
Right.
that verbiage. They said he will decide. He will say who he's going to cash in on.
And then he was like,
And
I
then
don't
he
ha-
didn't.
I have a year. This has been a concept in this company I've worked at for 10 years. I
So-
didn't know how this works.
So, but that happens.
You're making it sound like it was a screw up, but I think it was intentional.
No, it's intentional, but they
Yeah.
are insulting my intelligence. All right, you say, all right, he's going to decide who he cashes in on last week. Cool. He didn't do it. All right, F you. This week, Brock cashes in this week. That was said.
Yeah.
Multiple times. There was graphics. I watched.
But who said it?
Heyman.
Heyman.
But it's
And Monday Night Raw. They said it.
Yeah.
Calm down. Hear me out. Who said it though? Who announced it? Heyman, right?
Okay.
So then
The advocate
but
of
then
Brock Lesnar.
On Monday, what happened? Heyman was trying to get him to cash in. He was literally going, just do it. Is this not good enough? Do it. And Brock was like, no, Friday. I think this is a story. I think it's that Heyman is pushing Brock to do it so he can win the title back, but this is going to lead to Brock and Heyman splitting.
But
this is what I think.
But it's a shitty story because you have WWE actively promoting things that they know aren't going to happen.
And I don't like that. I'm not a fan of it. I've never been a fan. I don't like it when CCW did it. I don't like it when Stride's done it. I don't like it when any wrestling company does that. Because the old bait and switch, not a fan of it.
Yeah, because this is what WWE is. They're making clickbait.
Yeah.
This is how they're competing against AEW, guys.
They're desperate. I mean, they're desperate. You don't think they're desperate? But I still think that because there's a lot of people that have been like, that I've seen that have said, oh, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. They announce that he's going to cash in, then he doesn't cash in. Nobody knows what's going on. They don't even follow their own story.
No.
But I think this is the story.
Oh no, it's very much intentional. They know
Right.
what they're doing. They're trying to get that hook of okay, well no
who's he
one's
gonna cash in
watching
on?
no one's watching Raw, so we need to have that. Okay, well the hook is Lesnar,
Right.
And it's which I mean to be fair, he's shown up more in the last
couple weeks.
in the last month than he has all of last year.
And has he not been more entertaining as
I'm
who's
not
he going to
saying-
cash in on Brock Party as opposed to show up, suplex, destroy
because
opponent?
he actually gets to show personality.
But here's the thing: the second he gets done with that, the boombox, like, what does he do?
It's back to
Champion.
old Lesnar. Yeah.
he
Well,
gets
no,
to be,
no,
he
he
gets
just-
to be champion.
Well, yeah, no, but like, all right, we got Brock Party. Cool. That was last week. What did we get this week? He suplexed Seth and beat the out of him with a steel chair.
A lot.
So we got the same Brock Lesnar. It's literally the same thing. They're just trying to make it be like, well, no, it's different because he has the money. In
But
the
now
bank
they have that
briefcase.
extra hook of, well, we know people aren't going to want to watch the
Super Showdown.
show in Jeddah
Yeah.
because we're saying Jeddah. We're not saying, but everyone knows that's fucking Saudi Arabia.
I want to know where it goes because I don't think they're going to end it well. I think it's going to have a
He's
bad
gonna
ending.
cash in on Kofi. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's going to have a nonsensical ending because it to me it doesn't make sense of why he would not just cash in on Monday when Seth was clearly destroyed. It was an easy victory.
and that's the part that insults my intelligence of like that literally makes no sense.
right, but
It goes back to the whole thing like Matt Striker with the Austin Lane match. Like why is he not pinning him properly?
Right.
He doesn't want to win. Brock Lesnar doesn't want to be champion. He literally killed him.
yeah. And then walked away.
And then he had a contract being like, hey, he can get this belt right now.
And that's
But
why
he's
I
not
say
using it. That is ignorant.
That's why I say I hope there's a story. I hope there is a payoff
The
as
only-
opposed to just
That
he
is
cashes
a-
in on Friday and they never mention
The
it.
only
I said
thing-
it to somebody yesterday. When they were just like, "You think people watch Monday or WWE for the wrestling?" And I'm like, "If you're watching WWE for the storylines, let me introduce you to all this other TV that knows how to write a story properly."
The
That's
other
true. Swamp Thing.
the only argument I could make is that he is so pissed off that Seth stole it from him. He wants to drag this out, and he wants
he's torturing him,
He
basically.
wants to screw with Seth. But again, like that's
Oh.
filling in your own head.
All right, I got it. He's pissing off Seth. I agree with you because he's so upset about what happened. So on Friday, he looks like he's going to cash in on Seth, but doesn't. To toy with him, cashes in on Kofi, beats him, unification for the title.
I don't think they'll unify. I just think he'll.
Well, what I mean by that is like just Lesnar will win both.
Oh well.
Wild card.
Other stuff from Raw. We got the very special episode of Firefly Funhouse
I was wondering when we were going to get to this because
With
this
Love
was
it.
with friggin' super swole Bray Wyatt,
Huskus.
Huskus the
Pig
Pig,
Boy.
Devil McMahon.
It's not just bad enough that it was Huskus the Pig. It was Huskus the Pig Boy.
And like when you pulled it up last night to show Jesse and Trevor, even though this is probably my least favorite one that they've done, it had one of my favorite little touches that shows you how in tune with this whole story and this thing is that with Bray Wyatt. When he like goes and talks to Huskus to try to pep him up, he takes the little puppet hand and he holds his hand as like just a reassuring, like, hey, you're like talking to him like he's real.
Yeah.
And like the little touch to the thigh, like the way he interacted with the puppet was just like,
So-
holy shit, that is next level storytelling that you don't get. It's people talk about Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad and how he truly was like. People are talking about like the way he like straightens his pants and like buckles his seatbelt. That's what Walt would do.
Yeah.
Like this is very much and then the other part that I loved was in the middle of the weird dance, the song, just where it goes to the Fiend and he's
Yeah.
just standing still.
Oh yeah,
Well, he
shake
says
your
something
behind.
like shake
Now
your
erase.
behind.
Yeah,
Erase
shake
your
your
behind.
Yeah.
So my favorite part about this was they have tried to do symbolism with Firefly Funhouse so far, with Abby obviously representing Sister Abigail, the Buzzard being, obviously the Buzzard from Forever Long. But this was the first one.
Well,
You
and
mean
Waylon
Waylon Mercy the Buzzard?
Shit, that just dawned on me.
Yeah.
Really?
Like the name.
That
Yeah.
was like first week. I was like,
And he's got
that's neat.
he's got the Waylon Mercy color bandana.
All right, that's cool. I didn't even see that one. But this one was the first one that like when he first introduces Huskus the pig boy.
Oh, I popped for all of it.
I could feel this. Like as he's sitting there talking to him and saying stuff like they're going to tell you that you're a genius. They're going to say you've got the whole world in your hand. The symbolism of him talking to his old self and the fact that he was called Huskus the pig boy, like all of it was like, holy shit, this is deep.
Whenever like the devil came out
And said,
and then he was like, no, Huskus will change.
Yeah.
Huskus will change to whatever you need him to be. And then that's whenever like Muscle Man Dance happened. Oh my God.
And I think the Muscle Man dance was the perfect cap to it.
Yeah.
It was so insane and so like weird that it was kind of unsettling. It was funny.
Well, because it's the whole thing of just like, all right, you say that he's a genius, say you'll have his whole world in his hands, but he needs to exercise. That makes no point.
I think
Like that's obviously the joke they were going
right.
for.
And part of what I took from it was the whole they're going to call you a genius. You're going to have the whole world in your hands, and then you compare you team that up with a weird, nonsensical. This is so dumb dance routine. It's you're a genius, the whole world in your hand. Now you're doing this dance. It's almost like him putting himself on display of like, look at what I've had to do. Look what I'm going through. This really is my personal journey through hell in all of this. And he's making it so good. Like it's so
And that's what he's
incredible.
been talking about the whole time. Like whenever in the group chat when you were talking about like how can anyone watch this and say that they don't like Tim and Eric? It's because this has context.
Yeah.
This is telling a set story of you have this psychopath who, okay, everything I've tried to do before has failed. Now I have to try this new approach. So, okay, I will go after children.
Yeah.
What do kids like? This is all what he thinks. This is what he thinks a successful kid show would be. Like it's the bright colors and the painting, but it's just off. Abby's kind of fucked up. Mercy the Buzzard is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Like everything is just it's off.
The rabbit was just there until he was DJ, and then oh my god,
Rambling Rabbit no soul to murder.
you got it.
So like, but that's what. But yeah, I very much enjoyed.
I-
The dance itself was a little like that was like.
But it was fantastic.
That was right on the line
It
of
was
like this is a little bit.
fantastic.
This is more weird than like what a kid's show would be, but.
But I think that's the point. I think that's what it's getting weirder.
But then you see him flexing, and you
Yes.
see the way his body kind of just like
It's a V.
tapers in.
Well, he was ready for a night on the town, Asa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pig Boy was better already.
Hi, I'm the town.
So where do you think this goes? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, they're
I
gonna
don't
waste
see.
them.
Okay, so part of me kind of thinks that they have to they're going farther than they were originally going to.
Like
because,
it's been doing so well that they've extended it.
Well, no, because remember he was supposed to debut a couple weeks ago, but then the thing with JoJo and that happened, so that they had to keep him off TV then. So I kind of think they might be like revamping back up to another kind of like really messed up one with the Fiend, and then have him debut potentially, or maybe they were gonna have him like make his like. Yeah, Broadway's going nuts with super loud music because they're so cool.
Can I pitch to you my idea?
Sure. We still got a lot of show to go, though.
Oh no, it's a very quick idea.
Okay.
So basically, at maybe like in the next 2-3 weeks, with them keep doing the show, you have somebody come on, like an authority figure, like Stephanie or Triple H or somebody, and they tell him, Bray, you've done so well in this. Like it's almost like a therapy they've made him do. You've done so well in this. We think you're ready to get back in the ring. And him kind of be like, are you sure? You know, like I have so much work left to do at the Funhouse. They're like, no, you've calmed down. We think you're ready. Mm-hmm. And then he goes out and like we said earlier, before, he's really calm. But there are moments where he like kind of, before he goes full back into Monster, like you see him kind of fall apart over the weeks in the ring of losing his
Because he's not wrestling as the Fiend. He's wrestling as like,
as Happy
Sweater.
Bray Wyatt, yeah. But slowly gets darker. I think that would be really cool. But I just wonder how they're going to end the show and go into him wrestling again. Like, are they never going to address it? They're never going to address why he had a show suddenly on WWE TV?
And that's what I mean. I think that's why, like, they could have, like, this could have been, like, they were going to air this week regardless of whether he debuted or not. I could see that going either way. I just kind of think that maybe they went back and started to do a little bit more. But then again, I don't know how long those take to produce or make, because especially that one, like, that was a video production.
That was. But yowie wowie, did he look good. All right.
Wow.
Other Raw, SmackDown stuff. Rey Mysterio relinquished his title to Samoa Joe.
Before we get to SmackDown,
But that was Raw.
That was Raw. Yeah,
Shit,
remember
that was
US Raw.
I'm sorry. I thought that might have been a wild card segment because the fucking brand split doesn't mean shit anymore.
Damn.
No, fuck it. It's
Button.
stupid. All we need, it's just to we overexposed Roman Reigns and now we have all this goodwill. Let's immediately use this only for him.
Yeah, I saw us. It was
He's
a What
on
Culture.
every show.
It was Simon Miller talking about the ups and downs, and he was like, they call it a wild card. It's just Roman Reigns on both shows.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Rey Mysterio gives the belt to Samoa Joe.
Who kills him?
Yeah, who murders him anyway.
Setting up that epic Samoa Joe versus Dominic match.
Death.
Or Dominic turning on his dad. One of them's gonna happen.
Joe.
So what I thought was gonna happen was when Alexa Bliss attacked the Iconics after they kind of jumped Nikki after losing. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird that we haven't seen the Kabuki Warriors on TV since they got a name. Kind of seemed like they were gonna be the next Iconics feud, but now it looks like Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss will team up against them.
Have they?
But then that
they
didn't
done
happen.
anything?
Is what?
The Kabuki Warriors, have they done anything? No.
No.
Did you mention it?
No, they have not been on TV since they got a name.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, nope, that didn't happen. Instead, Bliss is going to wrestle Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Stomping Grounds because she won that triple threat match between
What the hell is Stomping Ground?
that's the
pay-per-view.
next pay-per-view.
Oh.
So that was a thing that happened.
Cool. Isn't Bliss a Raw wrestler?
Yes. Wild card.
Son of a bitch.
Yeehaw. Charlie Kelly jumping out the van. Throw me under it.
We need a button that every time it's like, wild card.
Cesaro and Ricochet had continued their best of 7 series. I'm assuming they're just going to completely redo the bar storyline, but Cesaro has cool music for once.
Yeah.
So like,
I really did love at the end when Cesaro pulls out the table and R-Truth was on it. That was legitimately funny.
I like the Aleister Black edits. Of they're taking him just laying flat, and then he's like they put the background as Aleister Black's like Tron and the candles and stuff. It's pretty great.
That's awesome.
And then the only other thing from Raw and SmackDown that I really wanted to talk about was did you see the segment between Randy Orton and Triple H?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get your balls out of Stephanie's purse.
And then he proceeded to just laugh the entire. They both were just like, "This is like, what was that segment?"
It was clearly we
Was
don't
it
give
so-
a shit.
That's
It's
whenever. That's whenever I logged or got off of Monday Night Raw.
I was like, was it supposed to be like
Funny?
Is this supposed to be like because the video packages make it seem like, oh, this is a big culmination of like these two longtime
Titans.
rivals. But then this is just like balls. My balls are bigger than yours. You don't have any balls.
You don't have any balls, Randy.
And they just laugh. Like, what is? I loved it, but I was very confused because part of me kind of hopes that they both did that as just kind of like a kind of subtle fuck you, of just like, yeah, no, this is stupid.
Or Randy went off the script for that one, like he was supposed to say something.
Yeah.
And just
but
changed
he
it.
knew that he could because
Yeah.
it's Triple H.
Yeah.
And he's Randy Orton, and like, please fire Randy Orton, because you think he's not going to go to AEW,
If they offer him the money.
right?
Yeah.
Just
He might just go. He might just go for
he
the
might
hell
just be
of
on
it.
his way out.
Goldberg was on SmackDown too, because
Oh, yeah.
Undertaker.
Oh,
God.
I forgot about the Undertaker. I could see again but like it's all just tied into the Saudi Arabia show, and and it doesn't matter.
No.
Like they are just cutting the most basic promos, except Goldberg like left awkwardly early, so the announcers just had to talk for like 3 minutes because nothing, like the show wasn't done yet, and he was just like, I'm not going to be just the dad. Okay, hey, thanks everybody, this has been great, I love being here, I love wrestling, I love SmackDown.
Love my kids.
Also my kids.
See you guys. So yeah, it's weird that the Undertaker and Goldberg meet in the ring for the first time to talk shit on each other, and they're not going to wrestle in America, or for a reason, a cause that's good. What a waste. Then we had the best of Super Junior. Is he a wrestler? Is Super Junior?
God, I hate you.
There's definitely an S on there. Equipment.
It
It
is
sound like
an
there's a
S, it
typo.
is. This was aired
Perfect.
at 5 in the
Is there a
morning
typo?
this morning,
4:30.
4:30 in the morning Central, which I believe in Japan is next week. And Dalton watched it.
Yep. I had to start with an hour late, and then I realized, it's one of those things that I forget it every time, but I still end up doing it, being like, oh, it's fine if I start an hour late. I'll just like rewind it and not be on Facebook. And then I realized New Japan doesn't have that function.
But have you ever heard of DVR?
That doesn't work whenever it's a streaming service.
Do they not
Can
have
you
it?
not just pull up the replay? Like,
Right. Do
Well,
they
no,
not-
no.
Because it's literally, well, like once it's done, you can. So I had to watch it like a couple hours after the fact. But I started like an hour in.
Why didn't you just sleep like normal and watch it when you woke up?
Well, this one didn't air at 2 in the morning. It started at 4:30. I'm up at 4:30 every day anyway.
Still?
Yeah.
Sucks.
I mean, it's smart to keep your sleep schedule
Yeah.
going.
So
Anyway.
it's really good.
You're the only one that watched it. How was it?
I enjoyed it a whole lot.
Real quick, we this will be spoilery. Like
Okay,
we are,
thank you. I
we
was
are
waiting for the
we
cue
are
on
we
that.
are going to talk about like winners of matches and stuff. So if you haven't seen it yet, then this is your chance to bail out now. But
If you've been on Twitter at all, you at least
oh
know
yeah,
one
if you've
of them.
seen, but that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
so, if you have so far like avoided spoilers, this is your warning that
If you're
safety
listening-
ends now.
If you're listening to this show before you watch that for some reason, here's your warning. Dalton, go.
No, it was really good. The opening, like, it's a Japan or New Japan show, so like your first hour is going to be a bunch of like the Chaos, Bullet Club, Lij, like Suzuki Gun, a bunch of those like 6-man or 8-man tags, and they were all really good. I have a new favorite. It's a dude out of the Bullet Club, El Phantasmo. He did a spot where he did the Undertaker's Old School, but he like it's kind of like what Orange Cassidy does too, but he actually made it look more realistic, where he walked along the like one whole rope, got to the buckle, kicked the dude he was holding in the face, and then walked across. It was a 6-man tag, so one of the guys, his partner, like went to like attack him, and he kicked him in the face, got to the corner, kicked the dude he was holding. The other dude then like tried to get him. He jumped up on the rope, stuck the landing on the rope, and then just did a Hurricane Rana off of that. And I was like, I'm gonna keep my eye on this guy because
He's Canadian.
yeah.
Neat. I'm looking him up right now. I originally looked up El Phantasmo with an F. That is a Mexican music star. Mm-hmm. It's not the same
Nope.
guy.
different, different.
And it's one of those like, yeah, Bullet Club did take a big hit whenever like the Elite left, but still like the Bullet Club still has Jay White and Ishimori.
Yeah, I
And-
don't know anything about the Bullet Club at this point.
And then Robbie Eagles. I mean, I think they still have Tom.
Girls of Destiny.
Yeah, and like they still like they have Robbie Eagles, who had a really good Super Junior, and then they also had El Phantasmo.
Is it
which-
still the Firing Squad?
No.
No, it's just Bullet Club.
That, I
now.
feel like that was dropped because they didn't do like there was no payoff to that.
Yeah, they didn't do like.
So now it's just they're just because it made it seem like the Bullet Club is fracturing.
Yeah.
So you have Bullet Club and then Firing Squad, but then they're like you're not the real Bullet Club. We're the real Bullet Club, and they were just like okay
You can have it.
that and that was it.
We're gonna go make this company.
That was
Makes
what-
me look like a hillbilly.
That legitimately is one of like the biggest missed opportunities in the history of professional wrestling.
because
to
those
me.
matches would have been fun. But yeah, the Bullet Club's still like really awesome. They still have a lot of really great talent. Their match was really good. I started watching like whenever I was watching it live, it was Rocky Romero and Okada versus Villain Enterprises, Brody King and Scroll.
Scurll.
I need Brody King to stay in Japan because he made Okada look small, and then like comparison, he made Rocky Romero look like a tick. And like it was awesome. Then you get into like they had three main events, and it was all three of them go out of your way to see. It was Tanahashi versus Jay White, the U.S. Championship, which was Robinson versus John Moxley's first match since leaving WWE, and then the finals of the Super Juniors. All three of those matches were insane. The big one that people are like really talking about is Moxley versus Juice Robinson. That match was a lot of fun.
Do you like the Death Rider?
That was dumb, but I think that's I believe that is just a New Japan thing, because I don't think that in All Elite Wrestling he's going to be the Death Rider John Moxley.
The Death Rider is a Allie, you gotta look at me. Allie, no. Death Rider is a double arm DDT, but he like lifts him up in the air and then spikes
This is
him.
the Gangrel.
He made the Dirty Deeds more gross because he hit Robinson with the Dirty Deeds and then he kicked out. So then he hit him with the Death Rider, which that was a
It
good
was
one.
pretty. Which there are T-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees now
For Death Rider?
For Death Rider.
Death Rider. And
It's Mox, and then it kind of has like the Knight Rider red eye, like in the O, and then there's one that's it's literally just like Death Rider and then like Grim Reaper.
yeah.
It's like the most basic shirt.
So it's like a shirt you would find at Walmart.
So this is I did see some of this match, and I have to say I cannot overstate how much I hate what he wore.
Whoa, hold on. I agree with you.
It was
I loved it.
That's
awful.
all.
It was awful. It was like it's not even trunks because it was like biker shorts.
Yeah, they were bikers.
Plain black biker shorts with just like a tiny little gold barbed wire around the thigh, knee pads, and then not even boots, just like wrestling shoes.
Yeah.
He looked like a young boy. Like, did he lose his gear on the way over there?
I mean, I don't know.
It looked so.
Not
and I
John
understand
Moxley.
I understand the point that you made.
Yeah,
Like,
because we were texting this morning about it because you were just like,
not John Moxley, just like not good, because like I get your point that it's this is he's being symbolic and he's going back to basics and he's focused on wrestling, and like I get that, but like that's a montage, that's a vignette that you can film. Like this, he looked so just bleh. Like there was literally nothing special about it, and not for it to not only be your first match outside of WWE, but for a championship match. Like, oh, I was so bummed.
But I also think it's one of those, like, it was going to be a damned if you do, damned if you didn't kind of situation. Where, like, if he would have showed up in jeans and the white, like, if he just would have been dressed like Dean Ambrose, he would have gotten shit on. Well, maybe not shit on.
No, he wouldn't have. He absolutely wouldn't
He
have.
got cheered.
You got cheered
anyway.
regardless.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you're saying he got shit on. No, he got cheered more. I mean, that's his look. Crazy. He's the lunatic fringe. It's like him.
Oh, that's very much not a thing
he's,
anymore.
He's not the lunatic.
You want to know?
I'm aware.
You want to be really happy he didn't do the rebound clothesline.
Good. I hate that move. I'm looking at a picture of his outfit though, and it like I kind of get for Japan, it kind of fits because it is very basic and it's. But
that's what he's like. Oh, it's a Japan thing. He's like, it's not, because look, are you gonna tell me Okada and Time Bomb and like look at their big names? Like, no, it's not. There's some like it's very Ishii, but Ishii has done that because Ishii has worn the same gear for 60 years.
Yeah, but can you
and
name
he's
any?
killed men in
I'm
it.
talking about white boys in Japan.
No.
Very basic.
Yeah, Young Bucks are very plain. Cody had no, there was no color to any of his stuff.
That's
it
what
just, it was just a bummer. Like I'm not even saying like he has to still do the same thing he's been doing, like he has to wrestle in jeans in a tank top. Like I'm not saying that at all. Just this was such a.
Well, what did he show up? What did he show up on in AEW?
He was wearing the like cargo pants almost, and then the vest.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed he would wrestle with.
And that's what I assumed too. And it was one of those like, it probably wouldn't have been my first choice. But if you asked me like, what should John Moxley wear to the ring, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't even know what Dalton Anthony should wear.
And granted, it's a personal
You
thing.
don't.
It's very much a personal thing. Like
Yeah.
I understand that there's probably a lot of people that did enjoy it, but like for me, like I don't even particularly like trunks. But if you're gonna do trunks, do trunks.
Yeah.
I hate bike shorts. You know this because I told when you were like, hey, I think I'm gonna wear bike shorts. I try to talk you out of it.
Didn't Goldberg switch from trunks to bike shorts eventually?
Yeah.
Like when he went to WWE?
Yeah, and
I
like-
hated it.
And he's also the only person that like can pull. You have to look like Goldberg to really like be able to pull that off. And Moxley doesn't look like Goldberg.
Nor
but
does
he
Dalton.
doesn't. But he doesn't need to, like, because
He looks like Moxley.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
one of those like,
But so like I don't see. So like yeah, I don't like trunks. I hate biker shorts. Like if you're
You don't like trunks?
no, not really. Like I prefer tights.
long
Really?
tights.
But that's just that's just a weird personal preference thing that I have.
It's
But-
one of those. So like, remember whenever and this is a kind of like same vein. Remember when Nakamura debuted on NXT, and we were like, what's the entrance going to be like? Mm-hmm. And we didn't know what it was going to be like. We had an idea because it was Nakamura,
Right.
But we didn't know, and we were like, I watched the video package. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's not the champion. He's coming out first. And the music was like, all right, cool. But then it might have been might not have been the actual music, because even like whenever New Japan does a thing at the beginning, they'll say like music altered for copyright reasons. So I don't know if that is the music he was. I mean, it's music you think he'd come out to. And then like he just comes in through the crowd, which I was like, okay, that's fine. And then he was wearing the bikers, and then he was wearing the Mox.
Okay, I thought you were still
Jacket.
talking about Nakamura.
No.
I'm trying to put the
But
pieces
I
together.
was like, you didn't know what you were really gonna get.
Yeah.
Because this is a different company.
This ain't your daddy's John Moxley.
It's the same thing where it's Nakamura went to America and we didn't know what to expect. This is Moxley, and it's his first match post WWE, and he's going to Japan.
Yeah.
Which was such a weird choice. The match was really good.
Do you think he decided on that though? Like I'm sure he did decide on.
Oh
the
yeah,
clothes,
yeah.
obviously.
And he's worn stuff like this before.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, do you think after having to wear T-shirt and jeans for so long, he was like,
He
I want
probably
to wear
wanted to do
trunks.
something different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
want to
probably
wear
wanted to do
trunks.
something different.
It's like when you get a haircut or you trim your beard, but then when you trim your beard, you go, oh goddamn, I look like Homer Simpson. Please come back, beard. And then you have to wait, like I am.
And he's also
currently.
been talking he did the 2 interviews. He did the one with Jericho, and then he did the 2-parter with
Wade Keller.
Wade Keller, which, by the way, if you're complaining about the commercials in the Jericho podcast,
Which
the
we're gonna-
Wade Keller one was like every 30 seconds.
We're gonna get to talking about Moxley on the Jericho podcast, but first I want to tell you guys about a gift
Jesus
that I got
Christ.
God.
for Father's Day last
I
year.
was,
We're
gonna,
gonna
I was
talk
actually
about
gonna say,
gifts.
I was gonna say, I was like, didn't you guys talk about that last week?
Yeah,
That was
but
last week.
the match was like, I loved that match. Juice Robinson said in like a interview beforehand, is like, you're not going to see any headlocks, you're not going to see any, like, you won't see a beautiful crossbody, you're just going to see a fight. And boy, did we get it. And I Loved it.
And spoiler, you're new.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm happy to see that they've.
I was really surprised by that. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, it's first match. There might be some shenanigans. Like, I almost kind of expected
a series of match.
Well, not even that, but like I expected maybe Bullet Club to come in and like,
he's an
to like
AEW
screw
guy.
with it. Yeah, just something like, maybe not even an AEW tie, but like I could see them not wanting to put the championship on him because he's an AEW guy, because we don't know what the extent of those contracts are.
Right.
But it was just like, it's cool. But you also, it's like he's not going to lose his first match.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
at least not cleanly. So, but yeah, I mean, and like I said, the only issue I had with it was what he wore, and only because it was so plain. Like they did such a cool thing with like the hourglass and like Mox. Like you can't put nothing on there.
Put some stank on it.
I'm a little bitch. I don't care.
What about Dominion?
Dominion's coming up. The big match is going to be Okada Jericho. I'm really interested to see what this one's going to be like.
I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely forgot that.
Dominion was this weekend.
Well, but also that Okada was champion again.
Yep, he beat Jay White.
Yep.
I also forgot about that.
I'm hesitant on this Okada Jericho match, because if there's one person that can make Jericho look like $1 million, it's Okada. And if there's
it's Chris Jericho.
Yes, but it's still a Japanese match, and this isn't gonna be this isn't a street fight. And I understand that it is still Chris Jericho, but Okada is it's good. You're gonna be really hard pressed to tell me who's a better wrestler right now than Okada in the world.
Marco Stunt.
In the world, you're gonna say Chris Jericho right now is better than Okada,
He's the best wrestler ever.
but at this
Forever.
moment right now.
I thought that was Kane.
At all times. No, he's my
Okay.
favorite character.
Oh yeah.
At all points in all history, it's Chris Jericho.
Okay, so I'm really
He invented wrestling.
Oh God, I thought he wanted to go to Taco Bell, and he's gonna keep on this bullshit.
I checked out.
Fair enough. The other one that I'm really excited about.
You were checked out the moment we hit
So,
record.
so far, there's only 4 matches announced, which is weird.
Jericho versus
Heavyweight Championship,
Okada.
Okada versus Jericho.
Jay White versus.
Nope.
Nope, Tanahashi. I think they're gonna
Nope.
have him injured for a while.
Yeah, neither of them are. They're not on the card. The Intercontinental Championship, Kota Ibushi versus Naito.
Yep.
I want to see that match.
The Never Openweight Championship match, Taichi versus Ishii. And then the Junior Heavyweight Championship is Dragon Lee defending against the winner of the Best of Super Juniors, Will Ospreay.
And that match this morning was insane too. The Ospreay Shingo match was insane. Because Shingo went from completely undefeated since October and completely clean sweeped Best of Super Juniors until the very end. And Ospreay had a couple of losses, but still it was. And they told a really, really good story. And then it was Will Ospreay, so you have I put it on Twitter. Watching Best of Super Junior matches are like watching an energy drink.
Did he fly around a lot?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a Best of Super Juniors match.
A couple of flips?
More than a couple.
Okay. I'm just
Yeah.
curious. All right, so that's Dominion.
Yep.
That is the sequel to damn, I had a good joke. The Exorcist. Now it's gone.
Did you?
Yeah,
Obviously not.
I mean, it would if I hadn't screwed it up. NXT TakeOver 25 is this Saturday.
Was this
No,
Saturday?
was last Saturday.
Holy shit, did it already go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the night it happened, you said, "Oh, I forgot that was tonight."
Who won? I
Which
actually don't know
match?
anything about it. Wow. Did I really blank out?
Adam Cole is
Yeah.
your new NXT champion.
I really blanked out. I don't know anything that happened from the show.
Yeah.
That
I
was-
thought it was this weekend.
Nope, it was
Wow.
last Saturday. It was, so we got the, I'm trying to think of the order it went.
Matt
It didn't
Riddle
start-
and Strong.
Yeah, Matt Riddle beat Roderick Strong in what I think is Matt Riddle's best NXT match he's had so far.
It was really
Better
bad.
than Dream?
Yeah,
Because I love that match.
yeah.
It was better than that one, yeah.
Tyler Breeze lost to Velveteen Dream, but that match legitimately pissed me off because it was so good, and Tyler Breeze is that good, and he's been just nothing for 4 years. It's been 4 years,
Other than the Fashion Police.
yeah, which has been great, but
Does nothing for him.
right,
Yeah.
the most memorable in-ring moment he's had in his entire main roster run was dressing like a janitor and
Yep.
rolling away from the Usos. And that, watching, just reminding how good he is made me mad. The tag team championships were decided. It was the Forgotten Sons, Street Profits, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Which I think this is probably my favorite ladder match of all time, tag team wise.
Can I guess who won? I swear to
Yeah.
God, I don't know. I would bet that. Who'd you say was Street Profits? Only Lorcan,
And
Danny Burch,
Danny
Undisputed Era, and Forgotten Sons.
Forgotten Sons.
Nope.
Nope.
So this going into this match, I am not a huge Forgotten Sons fan, and I'm not a huge
Street Profits
fan. Mostly because I don't know why. But Angelo Dawkins doing the bowl thing, I don't get it. Like, I feel like just old man yells at cloud. I don't get it.
I watched 2 Orange Cassidy matches over the weekend. You're fine.
But I knew that this is their first chance to have like a takeover spot. So like this is where they will impress me. This is what Alexander Wolf did in that War Games match.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh no, this is about making him a star. And I will say without a doubt, Montez Ford is a motherfucking star.
Yeah, he was like, he shined so much in this match. Angelo Dawkins probably had my favorite spear in a while, where one of the Forgotten Sons, like as Ford was going up for the belts, one of them was like trying to tilt it, and Angelo Dawkins, who is not a little man, speared him by going under the ladder.
Like through the ladder.
Yeah, he went through it, and he's not small, and he like cleared it perfectly. Looked pretty.
Yeah, it looked good.
Kyle O'Reilly apparently pissed off somebody because every stupid spot he took.
And there was a lot of them.
Yeah, like he was.
Remember Finn Balor at Money in the Bank and how we're like, wow, he like really like double that.
Yeah, like
because it was a tag team match.
It was one of those that like this is probably my favorite tag team ladder match I've ever seen.
You still haven't told me who won though.
Street Profits
did.
That's what I was gonna say originally, but I was like, nah, there's no way they won.
See, and that was the thing going into this one. Was like I genuinely had no idea because it's like, okay, I could see them doing Forgotten Sons shady. I could see Undisputed Era doing it shady. I could pretty much see all of them.
Aren't they all heels?
No. Street
Except
Profits
Birch and Lorcan
and Street Profits.
Oh, okay.
No, they're like, and they had like all the fans had like the red Solo Cup and like, so that was kind of cool. Because that's their thing. They party. Damn. So they have the Solo Cups.
Baszler versus Zayn.
Baszler versus Io Shirai.
Oh, because Sane's on SmackDown now. Yeah,
yeah. Which you couldn't tell if you watched SmackDown.
So this was again just a very formulaic Shayna Baszler match. They wrestle. It's really good. Baszler starts to lose. Duke and Shafir come out. But instead of them being able to do anything, Candice LeRae comes out with a kendo stick and just breaks it over both of them. But then doesn't do the thing where like, oh, a strand comes off, so she drops it. She continues to go until like 4 strands are just peeling off of it.
And she couldn't use it anymore, and that's when she dropped it.
It looked awesome. But
Baszler retains.
Baszler retains, and then Shirai just snaps and just like she hits her moonsault, but holding a chair.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
Shifa also found another kendo stick and wore that one out on Baszler.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see where they go with that because if they didn't do it then, I don't see them putting it on Shirai. Like I see her and LeRae feuding now.
Yeah.
Because nothing that happened, but like that's what it's gonna be. Like she loses control, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the main event was Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, and I liked this match significantly more than their 2 out of 3 falls match.
Which we were kind of critical of in some parts.
I mean, I wouldn't even say critical because it was great.
It was a good match,
but we didn't like it as much as other people did.
Right.
I liked this one way more.
It felt a little over choreographed.
And this one definitely had those moments, but everything felt crisper and like more seamless. And it was very much a holy shit. What does Adam Cole is going to have to take out a gun and shoot Johnny Gargano in the head to beat him?
Did Undisputed Era get involved?
No.
They
did
it.
Brilliant thing where the referee goes down and Cole looks around and he starts gesturing like wildly, like waving someone on. So Gargano's turned around and like ready for him. Like he's just waiting for him to come because he knows they're gonna. But it was a setup. Like they were never gonna come. Cole.
It gave him time to breathe, and then Gargano was like, well, I have to get back in the ring, but now I have to watch my back. And that's whenever Cole won.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was
shit.
a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a significant sequence between that and then because that wasn't the finish.
Oh yeah.
But that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
I feel like NXT really would be my sweet spot.
It is genuinely baffling that it's the same company that put on the show that Sami Zayn sat in an electric chair and answered fan questions that had 5 minutes of wrestling in the first hour.
They didn't do that on this Monday Raw, did they?
No, they didn't do the electric chair.
No, we immediately got Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns or some bullshit variation of that.
No, it was
Lanston. No, that was the last week.
That was last week. This week it started with Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the Revival and Dawson
and
Revival. Jesus,
Revival. Okay, let's finish it up.
Drew McIntyre versus and the Revival versus Roman
He's
Reigns.
going
and
down.
the
He's
Usos.
going down in flames. Last thing we're gonna talk about real quick. Stride. By the way, my favorite spear that I've seen lately is the one that Dalton took from Heath Hatton. Because one, that was sick, and two, you took it well. You took it like a champ. So Stride is this weekend.
Yes.
We have the Battle Bowl.
Yes. I don't know what that means.
Real quick, I want to give a big shout out to GM Sam because he keeps us in the loop about stuff he's working on and like some of the graphics and stuff. And he has done an incredible job.
Oh yeah, no,
That new Battle Bowl graphic is sick.
yeah.
Very jealous of it. So Sam, great job. First off,
we only have 2 confirmed matches right now, which it's going to be Willpower and B-Rad versus the Sin City Saints. I think I said that right. Jay Spade and Tony Flood. And then it's going to be Wraith versus Red Daniels as the heavyweight championship. All we know right now for Battle Bowl is that it's a tag team tournament and we have captains.
Yeah, because it's a random teams.
It's a random teams. So
like you're not teaming with Dexter potentially.
Potentially, yeah. We don't know yet. It's Heath Hatton is a captain.
Billy
Hills is a captain. Hollywood Redneck is a captain. Chris Hargis is a captain. Bo Sawyer is a captain, and Axe Allward is a captain. Mm-hmm. We still have 2 captains to go, and we really don't know who the draft picks are, because I think that's what we're being called, our draft picks. I don't know if I'm a captain. I don't know if I'm a draft pick yet. I'll find out when I get there and whenever the fans get there. It'll be at the Stride building in Carterville, Illinois. Be there. Kevin Huntsberger will be there. That's a selling point for some people. So, yeah.
Ooh.
He'll laugh when he hears that
The claws are out. Man leaves his position, all of a sudden you're just ready to tear him apart, ain't you?
Oh, I was the day he quit was the day of the Pickneyville show.
Sad.
And we had a promo in the ring, and I just got out. Well, as I was getting out, I was like, "Aren't you unemployed now?" And I just left. And he, which was bad, they didn't play music when it happened, so everybody heard me say it to him. And then he just looked at me trying not to break, like he had a Jimmy Fallon moment. I was very proud of myself on that one.
So Wraith versus Red Daniels.
Yeah. It's the first time matchup.
How does that work? Because
they'll both be in the ring.
Yeah, because what I don't understand, as far as I know,
I've never seen them both in the same room. In fairness, I've only seen Wraith in a ring.
Let me get to the damn joke. Let me get to the damn joke so we can wrap this up and go home. I was gonna say that the reason I didn't know how this was gonna happen is because I didn't think Wraith had climbed up the ladder to go for the title yet, and that was the joke. And you've ruined it. And I just want to go home. Thank you for tuning in to Pro Wrestling Unscripted. Asa, take us out. I'm done.
Facebook.com/ I'm going. Easy there, Dalton. Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, Twitter.com/Podzilla1985, Podzilla1985.com, and Patreon.com/Podzilla1985.
And I'll turn it back on. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back for After Dark tomorrow. Later.